In today's video, we're going to be learning some phrasal verbs about talking and conversations. I'm going to go in alphabetical order and I'm going to explain them and give some examples of each of them. The first one is ask around. If you ask around, it means that you ask several people about something. For example, I don't know if there is a good mechanic in this town, but I'm going to ask around. It means that you're going to ask different people about whether there is a good mechanic in town, for example. Ask after is basically asking about how someone is. So you're asking about someone's well-being. If you know that someone's sister is in hospital, you can ask after her sister. So you're asking how she is. But if you ask someone out, it means that you're asking them to go on a date with you. You're inviting someone to go on a date. If I'm talking about my friend and I say, he met someone at the bar and he asked her out, it means that he wanted to go on a date with her. Blurt out means to say something suddenly and without thinking twice about what you're going to say. So sometimes when you blurt something out, it could be inappropriate or could be a bit offensive because you haven't thought about what you're going to say. You say it suddenly. You will normally see this phrasal verb when you are reading a book. It comes up quite frequently. For example, he blurted out the surprise before it was supposed to be revealed. So he told everyone about the surprise because he wasn't thinking about what he was saying and he just said it suddenly. Sometimes you can blurt something out when you're too excited, or children can blurt things out because they haven't thought about what they're going to say, or when you're anxious and it's a bit awkward, when you're in an awkward conversation and you want to say something but you don't know what to say. Bring up means to start a new topic in a conversation. So you mention something in a conversation. For example, I was having a conversation with my friend the other day and she brought up the issue of the cost of food recently. We spend so much on food now compared to 5 years ago. So it means that you start talking about a topic in conversation. Call out means to criticize someone publicly, or to shout at someone because you want their attention. So imagine you're in a meeting and the boss called out her mistake. It means that he pointed out her mistake, so he criticized the mistake in front of everyone. This happens quite a lot with celebrities. Celebrities get called out for doing something wrong. So imagine if a celebrity made an inappropriate comment, then they might get called out for it because people criticize them publicly. But imagine if I'm walking in a street and someone is calling out for help, then it means they are shouting because they want your attention. So it can mean the two things. Carry on means to continue. In this case, continue talking or discussing something. Imagine you interrupt someone by mistake. You can say, oh, please carry on. Yeah, please carry on talking. Please continue talking. Chime in means to add a comment to a conversation, but it's normally when you're interrupting. So if you are in a meeting and everyone is talking about a project that they are doing and someone chimed in with their opinion, it means that they interrupt by adding a comment about the topic. So chimed in with, if you're adding a noun afterwards, for example, she chimed in with her opinion, or if there's not a noun afterwards, you can just say she chimed in. Chatter on means to talk a lot, to talk continuously about something, and they aren't serious topics, so they are trivial matters. She chatted on for hours about her trip to Asia. So she talked continuously about her trip to Asia, which wasn't a deep or serious topic. Check in means to update someone about something or to ask about the status of it. For example, if you're at work and you're working on a task and your boss says to you that he will check in after lunch to see how the project or the task is going, then it means that he will come and ask for an update and to ask about how the project is going. Sometimes we post a video on the channel, and a few hours after posting the video, we will check in to see how it is going, to see whether many people have watched the video, to see if people have liked it, etc. So it's to check to see how it's going. Come across means to give an impression or to be understood in a certain way. This is quite a difficult one to explain. For me, it's quite similar to the word seems. So you can say, he seems like a good person. You can also say, he comes across as a good person. So he gives you that impression. Or if you're doing a presentation, then you can come across as very confident. It means that you seem very confident. The next one is come forward. Come forward means to offer information or help, and it's normally in a public setting. When the police are looking for a suspect, then they ask people to come forward and offer any information that they have. For example, there was a murder in the town centre and 10 people came forward with crucial information because they were witnesses to the crime. So they offered help and offered information. Cut in means to interrupt someone when they are speaking. So again, if you're in a meeting and you say, oh, I'm sorry to cut in, but I want to add something. It's quite similar to cut off, but cut off means to stop someone from speaking by interrupting. So if you cut in, you interrupt someone to speak, But when you cut off, it means that you stop someone from talking. So it's quite rude. And normally it's from the other perspective. So you can say that I cut in. So I interrupted, but he was cut off. So we use that in passive. He was cut off with my comment, but I cut in with my comment. Imagine you're telling a story and you say, where was I? What was I saying? Sorry, someone cut me off. It means that someone interrupted me and stopped me from telling the story. Digress from means to move away from the topic that you were talking about during a conversation. So imagine I was telling my story about what happened yesterday at work, and then I started to talk about something else. Then you can say that we digressed from the main topic, which was the story that I was telling. So when you digress, it means that you start talking about another topic. Dwell on means to focus on something of the past, which was quite negative. So imagine I failed an exam at university and I keep dwelling on it. It means that I keep focusing on it too much and it's something negative. So when people say don't dwell on the past, focus more on your future, it means don't focus too much on something negative in the past. It's better to focus on the positive in the future. Elaborate on means to provide more details about something. For example, if someone has an idea and they just mention the idea, if you ask them to elaborate on their idea, it means that you want them to provide more details. So today we have learnt some phrasal verbs about talking and communication. We have reached the letter E, so in another video we will continue learning these phrasal verbs. Remember to subscribe to my channel and to give it a like if you have learned something in this video and you're looking to learn more English. Thank you.